What happened in the previous chapter was our protagonists continued their training for the impending battle against Innocent Zero and his minions. Dot and Lance have finished their training under order, and the two thanked him for helping them to become stronger. Finn, on the other hand, trained under Caldo in healing magic, and he was able to save a dying rabbit. However, Rain arrived and stopped Finn from helping them because such things were not for Finn. According to Rain, that is. Mash has finished his exhausting training under Meliadel. Due to fatigue, he suddenly fainted. Meliadel was worried and realized that even if she used her super special magic power, Mash's recovery would still take 2 days. So she thought that now is the worst time for their enemies to attack. The scene suddenly shifted to people running. They were asking for help. It turns out the enemies had invaded the city and the forces of darkness had charged in. Meanwhile, at the Bureau of Magic, a report came in that Innocent Zero was attacking the town. The vice director couldn't believe it because the eclipse was still 2 days away, so they really shouldn't be attacking this early. Bless immediately ordered Onii-Chan to contact the Divine Visionaries. The scene then shifted to Innocent Zero's base and he said it had begun. So now he was also preparing. He said that the world exists for him, so it will serve him to keep him alive. What's up, Onii-Chan? Welcome back to our manga recap series about Mashle, Magic and Muscles, a story with a mix of Harry Potter and One Punch Man. So let's start the video. As we continue the thrilling story of Mash in a world full of magic, we return to the onslaught of Innocent Zero's minions on the town. There was a woman who stumbled while running out of fear. A monster was about to attack her, so she screamed for help. Suddenly, something attacked the monster, and they said to leave it to them. The magic police arrived to stop the monsters. They tried to gang up on a giant, but with one swing of its weapon, it resulted in their near annihilation. The giant who was responsible for this explained that they are the chief of the giant race, Doge Basam. They've long suffered poverty at the hands of humans, but not anymore. Now they will be the ones ruling over them. And once the war is over, they themselves will kill Innocent Zero. Dorj Basam yelled and commanded his minions while instructing them to show who really deserves to rule that world. On the side of a building, he addressed us. You remember him, right? He's Silva. He's the one with the eyebrow piercing who bullied Mash but ended up getting beaten up because of it. He explained that he only came to town to steal lunch money, things like that. But then that happened. As Dorj was destroying houses, he commented that the houses did nothing wrong to deserve that. That was scary. Even the magic police were turned into a magic paste by that giant, so he really didn't stand a chance. The best thing he could do to survive was to run as fast as he could. Suddenly, he saw a child crying while looking for his mommy. He was surprised and wondered what he should do, save the child or let them die. He decided to just leave because he said he's a piece of trash anyway. Then the child approached him and asked for his help. Silva was taken aback and dismayed when the child approached. While he was trying to get the child away, Dorj spotted them. Silva just cried, thinking that the child had led the giant to him. Dorj immediately attacked, so he thought he was done for. As the fist was approaching him, he wondered what he could do. It was karma after all. Suddenly, he remembered Mash and wondered why he was seeing him even though he also bullied him. Then Mash said in his mind to stay strong. Because of that, he was revitalized and shouted for Mash to be quiet because he didn't need his opinion. He swiftly dodged Dorj's attack with the child. After that, something hit Dorj's hand that made him falter. Then Silva turned around. It turns out that it was the doing of one of our divine visionaries. They said that whenever someone is in danger and asks for help, there's always someone who will come. And that person is him, Ryo Grants. Dorj was puzzled then. Ryo explained that the whole world knows his name, but beyond the entire world, he is universally recognized as the greatest creation in all of humankind. He radiated an extraordinary light throughout the place, the divine visionary Ryo Grants. Suddenly, Ryo's fans appeared there and cheered for him. Silva was wondering where those people came from. Torch pointed out to Ryo that it didn't matter, and did he really think he could defeat them with their numbers while protecting the people there? Ryo smirked and said that a star is always surrounded. He suddenly dropped some sunglasses. Torch was puzzled and Ryo said they needed them because he shines so brightly that he's blinding. Torch and his companions got annoyed and immediately rushed in. Ryo easily dodged his attack. When Ryo swung his hand, it immediately slashed across Torch's face. While the other giants continued to charge at Ryo, he swung his wand again. This resulted in the bodies of the giants seeming to come apart. Ryo continued doing this, so the bodies of the giants were gradually cut into pieces. Ryo seemed to be just playing with the giants that attacked the town. In the end, parts of the giants rained down on the area while Ryo just enjoyed it. Silver was amazed because Ryo defeated them so easily. Ryo said that there could be no better ending than his death. Innocent Zero was shown smiling after that. In the next scene, a meter was shown. Meliadel was also shown holding a wind-up key attached to Mash. She explained that it was the wind-up key of life. She needs to wind it for the full 24 hours that Mash needs to recover. It was crucial for Mash to recover by the time of the eclipse. Otherwise, it would appear to everyone that she killed Mash. The scene then shifted to the city. Sofina Biblia, with the knowledge cane, was fighting a monster. The monster told her not to be annoying so it could kill her. Sofina told the monster to hold its vulgar tongue or it would regret its words. Demi, the head of the gargoyles, dared to threaten Sofina. She thought it would be a good idea to remove Sofina's limbs and turn her into a shish kebab. Sofina explained while using her book that words are the way in which we give meaning to our actions. They can be healing words or damaging words. Sofina suddenly twisted Demi's words and made him cut off his own limbs to make a shish kebab of himself. Because of that, Demi was puzzled and what he said immediately happened. He was cutting off his own hand while wondering why he was doing that. It continued to happen and Sofina explained that he should be careful with his words. In the end, Demi made a shish kebab of himself and Sofina said not to say she didn't warn him. Elsewhere, the Ice Cane. Turara Hailstone is confronting the centaurs. One of the centaurs introduced himself as their chief, Palto Torte. It seemed he would challenge the Ice Visionary. She was a fitting opponent for him. He suddenly froze after he said that. It turns out that with one step from Turara, she was able to freeze all the centaurs and even the entire surroundings were affected. Turara was chilled by her own magic. She wondered why it had to be so cold. She wished she had something hot like fire magic. When she tried to walk, she slipped and hit her head on the ground. Her head was bleeding, then while she was laying down, she cried and said how much she hated her magic. In the next scene, a monster was wiping a large statue. It commented that humans were pushovers. Was there no one among them who was strong enough to challenge him? The chief of the orcs? Suddenly, someone arrived so they looked around. It turns out that it was the Dragon Cane Agito Tyrone, and he was saying that the forgiving gods should forgive them. The chief then wondered who he was. Agito continued praying and said that since they can't live without taking the lives of other creatures, life is, in the end, a naturally selfish act. The orc chief was still puzzled. Agito kept going and said that they should continue their selfish path and save them from the dirty life they have to live. The chief was annoyed and asked what Agito was talking about. Immediately, a giant dragon appeared behind him and swallowed them all. While that was happening, Agito was just continuously praying. He commented that he had sinned again that day. That was already the 9,978th time that he had sinned. He was praying that tomorrow would be better than today. While that was happening at Innocent Zero's base, Doom was shown facing one of the divine visionaries, Renatsu Revel, the immortal Cain. He said that he had a feeling that he would be smarter if he just went there right away. And he was right. He was pleased with that and said he really liked the perks of his job. Doom was just staring at him. No one would get angry if the person you killed was a bad person. He charged and said that since the others weren't there yet, he would get Doom all to himself.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Doom immediately moved his sword Cattled Bulk. When he slammed it, the floor there vanished, so Revel was surprised by its weight. While Revel was charging, Doom made a move. As soon as Revel got close, Doom swung his sword with extraordinary speed. It resulted in a slash across Revel's face and his entire body in a blink of an eye. Doom faced his sword towards him and wiped it. He commented that he didn't know what Revel expected from him, but for him, the incident seemed worthless. When Doom looked behind him, a large hand suddenly came out and tried to swipe him away. Nevertheless, he instantly slashed it. Doom turned to look at Revel's lips, and when he looked at it closely, Revel's eyes suddenly opened. Revel's slashed body slowly started to piece together. While that was happening, Doom was just watching. Revel took his head and put it back in place. While regenerating, he said that such things give value to his life. Doom then realized that Revel is an immortal. While that was happening, let's move to Meliadel, who is still trying to wind up the wind-up stuck in Mash. She was screaming and said she told Mash that he could die from that training, but if he really dies, it would still be her fault. She wants everyone to know that she warned Mash. She was extremely frustrated while continuously trying to raise Mash's life meter. And is this where the video ends? Yeah. What do you think? Will Mash wake up in time? What will be the outcome of Revel and Doom's duel? Write your comments down below. If you want more anime and manga recaps, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on new videos.